variety show and ice cream social. I am Joe Langans and have the privilege of coordinating this show and also serving as the Master of Ceremonies. There are many who have worked hard as performers and other volunteers to whom I bestow my gratitude, for without their dedication and expertise, this show may not have been realized. We're so happy to be here and excited to have such a vibrant audience. We have braved the pandemic and look forward to entertaining you. You know, the performers and volunteers in our show have a relationship to Highland Lakes. You have or will see them on the golf course, at the pool, at dances and gymnastics and yoga, making teddy bears, and engaged in many of the numerous activities and organizations right here at home. Please, most of you have already seen and met Shirley Gorell, Birdie Gertie. Birdie Gertie has enjoyed being a therapeutic clown for 20 years. For the past 10 years, she has been a hospital clown doing frequent patient visitations. She has visited nursing homes and assisted living facilities to entertain patients. Birdie Gertie has also attended numerous clown conventions. Her whole purpose of clowning in this manner is to help patients to feel better, take their mind off their problems, and find an opportunity for enjoyment. She feels blessed to have been able to make people smile. We at Little Theater feel blessed to have her here with us today. Thanks, Birdie Gertie. Please note that we have a couple changes to our show program. Unfortunately, for health or caretaker reasons, changes in the ordering of acts have been made. Please note that after the intermission, the ordering of acts following David Hall will be John D., Barbara, and John M. Jan is unable to be with us this time. So, what do we have in store for you? Well, how about lip sync and comedy? If you have a weak bladder, beware, because we have some funny stuff coming up. Among our first and third performers, lip syncing is brought to a whole new level. You'll be dazzled by Jeannie dancing to All That Jazz. Then there's our Cowgirl Clownies and a skit about David's pet dog. Enjoy a doo-wop duet and both masterful piano playing and song. And that's before intermission. Please turn off your cell phones and any other devices. Remember Maurice Chevalier? I remember it well. Sit back, relax, and enjoy music of the harp. We've got some pretty awesome guitar playing and song, and we'll be putting on the Ritz. Join in for our grand finale, God Bless the USA. The words are in your program. We hope you enjoy the show, and the Highland Lakes Little Theater thanks you for being here. Please note, our restrooms are located in the rear of the auditorium. We will have one intermission during which winning tickets for Share the Wealth will be drawn. Immediately following the show, we will hold our ice cream social. At that time, we ask that you turn in your event ticket and off you go with your custom sundae. There is vanilla and chocolate ice cream and a selection of toppings. So, as they say, on with the show. This is it. For our first act, I present to you April Rohrig. April has been a resident of Highland Lakes for 5 years. She's most often found at water aerobics classes. April is a retired Pinellas County Schools teacher, administrator, and district trainer. Get ready for a show that's you'll love it. For her Highland Lakes Little Theater debut, as the curtain opens, April will perform a Patsy Cline hit, She's Got You. Take it away, April.
I've got your picture that you gave to me, and it's signed with love, just like it used to be. The only thing different, the only thing new, I've got your picture, she's got you. I've got the records that we used to share, and they still sound the same as when you were here. The only thing different, the only thing new, I've got the records, she's got you. I've got your memory, or has it got me? I really don't know, but I know it won't let me be. I've got your class ring that proved you care, and it still looks the same as when you gave it, dear. The only thing different, the only thing new, I've got these little things, she's got you. I've got your memory, or has it got me? I really don't know, but I know it won't let me be. I've got your class ring that proved you cared, and it still looks the same as when you gave it, dear. The only thing different, the only thing new, I've got these little things, she's got you.
Thank you, April. Our next performer is Jeannie Schleifer, who will perform the number All That Jazz. She has performed on stage on a cruise ship and was awarded first prize in performance. She has engaged in competitions with a professional instructor and has been awarded some 20 trophies. Jeannie has acted in numerous plays here and has loved it. Her dancing repertoire includes tap, waltz, Latin, tango, and flamenco. Dancing has been the love of her life. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeannie Schleifer.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down. And all that jazz, start the car, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. Slick your hair and wear your buckle shoes. And all that jazz, I hear that Bob the Dip is gonna blow the blues. And all that jazz, hold on, hon, we're gonna bunny hug. I bought some aspirin down at United Drug in case we shake apart and want a brand new start to do that jazz. Oh, you're gonna see a shiver, shimmy, shake, and all that jazz. Oh, I'm gonna shimmy till my garters break, and all that jazz. Show me where to park my girdle. Oh, my mother's bloody girdle, if she'd hear her baby's queer for all that jazz. Find the flask, we're playing fast and loose, and all that jazz, and all that jazz. Right up here is where I store the juice, and all that jazz, and all that jazz. Come on, babe, we're gonna brush the sky. I bet you're lucky Lindy never flew so high. 'Cause in the stratosphere, I put lend an ear to all that's No, I'm no one's wife, but oh, I love my wife and oh, that jazz.
She started her tenure in the Highland Lakes Little Theater as a sign girl. We've known her as Moogie the Munchkin in Rejoicify. In The Clampetts Meet the Ricardos, she played the role of Ellie Mae. Connie Moe shares with us that in 1968, at a recording studio in Nashville, Tennessee, Tammy Wynette took all of 15 minutes to write a song, Stand By Your Man. The song became a country western classic and was featured in several movies, including The Blues Brothers, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Sleepless in Seattle, and others. It was even mentioned on CBS 60 Minutes by a former First Lady defending her husband's activities. Here today is Connie Moe lip-syncing her rendition of Stand By Your Man. Ladies and gentlemen, Connie Moe.
Sometimes it's hard
a woman. Giving all your love to just one man. You'll have bad times and he'll have good times, doing things that you don't understand. But if you love him, you'll forgive him. Even though he's hard to understand. And if you love him, oh, be proud of him. 'Cause after all, he's just a man. Stand by your man. Give him 2 arms to cling to and something warm to come to when nights are cold and lonely. Stand by your man and show the world you love him. Keep giving all the love you can. Stand by your man. Stand by your man and show the world you love him. Keep giving all the love you can. Stand by your
Thank you, Connie, and the curtain comes to a close. Well, you know, the other night for dinner, I was going to cook alligator, but we realized we only had a crock pot. I'll tell you, I'm feeling pretty proud of myself. The puzzle I bought at the hobby store had printed on the cover 3 to 5 years. Well, I finished it in 18 months. I finally did it. Bought a new pair of shoes with memory foam insoles. No more forgetting why I went out to the kitchen. Coming up next are 2 ladies who are quite talented and very dedicated Highland Lakers. I have had the opportunity to work with them on several occasions during my brief tenure here. They're swell. Carol Fudge and Sue Samuel first appeared together in the class reunion play Good Enough High. They then teamed up as the Desperados and blew up a bank while trying to rob it in Cowboy with a Rose Tattoo. Carol is known for her show-stopping scene with the death of her husband, Joey Bag of Donuts, in Death of a Canary. Sue is remembered, among other performances, for her role as the Wicked Witch of Highland Lakes in Rejoicify. Her spine-tingling laugh is classic. And you will see her as Carrie Taker in High Jinks on the High Seas. Here they go again in Stagecoach. Let's open the curtain and take it away, Cowgirl Clownies.
stagecoach back here.
Okay.
Here we go.
Woo! We made it. Let's get out of town before them giant bandits come after us.
Sounds great. Are you ready?
I was ready. Hey,
What, boss?
well, did you hear about the rabbit that crossed the road?
No.
He was a turkey and he wanted to prove he wasn't chicken.
Boss, that did not make any sense.
I know it, but it's okay.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, are them bad guys following us at all?
Let me check, boss. Let me look over yonder. Oh, I see 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, they're following us.
2 or 3?
Yeah.
How close are they?
Well, they're about this big.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Let's go.
Hey, boss.
Sure.
What did Obi-Wan Kenobi say to the cowboy?
I got no idea.
May the horse be with you.
Come on, let's get out of here. Hey,
What, boss?
I don't know.
Yes, you do know.
I don't remember nothing.
You do remember.
Am I still looking for them damn cowboys behind
Yes,
us?
let me check behind us, behind the stagecoach, boss. Yeah, they're coming. You know what? There's probably 4 or 6 of them now.
I know I shouldn't ask, but how close are they?
Well, they're about this big now. That's how close they are.
Oh, God. Get out. Hey,
What, boss?
did you hear about the elephant with the diarrhea?
No, I did not.
Well, it's all over town.
Oh, that really stinks, boss.
God, get out. All right. Are they still following us?
Let me check, boss. I see them coming. They're coming round the bend. They're coming across the river. They're really getting close to us, boss.
How close are they?
Well, they're about this big. Whoa, they're huge.
Well, shoot them, will you?
Oh, wait a minute, wait. I got my gun, but I can't shoot them.
And why can't you shoot
I
them?
just can't shoot them, boss.
Why?
Because I've just known them since they were this
Oh.
big.
Get out of here. We're here.
Whew, thank God.
I
We missed
know.
those desperados.
We're beat up. I have here. Come on. Let's get this out of here.
Okay.
Why am I always waiting for you?
Because I'm the slow one, boss.
That's a good idea. Okay. Hey, you want to come over for dinner tonight?
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Sure, I guess.
I'm having Himalayan rabbit stew.
You are? Where? I say, where did you find Himalayan rabbit?
I found Himalayan on the side of the road.
Oh, this is heavy now.
As the curtain comes to a close, I think that performance was this big. You know, my wife asked me yesterday, where have you been all day? You haven't gotten anything done. And I said, well, I've been in the produce department trying to open a stupid plastic bag. I'm pretty excited. The other day, my loan went through. Now, I can get a full tank of gas. And I am pretty happy that the gas station down the street doesn't have the sign on it any longer on the gas pump. Did you see it? Financing available. Pets play a significant role in our lives. We get them their license, take them on trips on a train. They stay with us in a hotel. They do almost everything with us. We'll learn more about these things during our next act. Our next performer is David Samuel. He's a second-generation Highland Laker. His stage experience has been more than 40-plus years ago when he had a role in 2 musicals. He shares with us that his performance this afternoon will make his mother very proud of her oldest son. She will smile down from above as he delivers his story. David has written regarding his upcoming performance that, as an Irishman, I will tell my personal story about my dog and all the dogs I've owned over my 77 years of a good life. Our next performer is David Samuel, and hold on to your seats. Here comes My Pet Dog.
Good afternoon. Everyone knows a dog is a man's best friend. Everyone who owns an exciting dog knows the dog's name is very important. When I first got our last dog, I didn't know what to call him. Should he be Spot, Pooch, or what? I finally called him a 3-letter word to keep it simple, easy, and short. I named him Sex. He's a great asset to our family, and he's a real joy to have here in Highland Lakes. He's always fun, friendly, and exciting to be with. He's a great pal. But he has caused us a great deal of embarrassment. Recently, I went to the town hall to renew his dog license. I told the beautiful clerk I would like a license for Sex. The clerk, with a big smile on her face, responded, she would like one too. But then I said, this is for the dog. And she responded, she didn't care what it was for. Then I said, you don't understand. I've had sex since I was 11 years old. The clerk winked and said, you must have been quite a kid. When I first had our lovely dog, I went to the pet store. I needed to buy our dog a new, strong collar. I asked the young clerk if she had a nice, strong collar for Sex. She looked straight into my eyes and clearly told me that she didn't sell that stuff here in this store. I needed to go down the street to the porn shop. When we got married, we went to the Caribbean for our honeymoon. We took our dog with us. When we checked into the beautiful hotel, I told the clerk I wanted a room for my wife and myself, and I needed a special room for sex. He responded and said, "You don't need a special room for sex. As long as you pay your bill in full, we don't care what you do." I said, "Look, you don't seem to understand. Sex keeps me awake at night." The clerk responded, "That's funny. I sometimes have the same problem." One day, we entered sex in a dog show contest. But before the competition began, our dog got loose and ran off. Another contestant asked me why I was just standing there, looking so disappointed. I quickly responded by saying, I was so excited to have sex in this contest. Later, when we found sex, I was disappointed because I really was hoping to fulfill my fantasy and dream of having sex on TV. We were here in Highland Lakes a short time when our dog took off and left us. Many Highland Lakers told us that happens to a lot of people here. Sex just leaves. Last summer, we went to Washington, D.C. on the auto train. On boarding, I told the conductor I needed 3 seats, one for my wife, one for me, and a window seat for sex. He responded by saying a bedroom cabin would be a much better for sex on this moving train. Last month, I was working outside, raking up leaves. The dog was with me. Just then, the mailman was coming down the street. Our front door was open widely, just when the mailman was at our mailbox. My wife, with a loud voice, yelled out, "I need sex. I need sex now." The mailman froze and responded to me, "Is she talking to you or me?" I told him, "Thanks for the mail, but keep moving." About 2 months ago, one of my many good friends from Highland Lakes was coming over to visit our home. He was almost at the front door when he heard out of the front window my wife say in a very loud voice, "I need sex on the dining room table. I need sex on the dining room table right now." Needless to say, he didn't ring the doorbell. He left and he had a confusing look on his face. After dinner last month, our dog got out when our side door was slightly opened. I spent many hours looking around Pristine Point and Tarpon Point Circle. Finally, a cop car was coming slowly down our street with his high beams on. He observed me walking around looking between the houses at 1 a.m. in the morning. He drove up his car to me. He rolled down his window and said, "What are you doing?" I told him in a tired, sad, unhappy voice, I was looking desperately for sex. The court date came up last month. In the courtroom, I said to the judge, I had sex before I was married. The judge said, this courtroom isn't a confessional. The judge, after much discussion and give and take, told me to go back to Highland Lakes and enjoy myself. I took his advice seriously, and I enjoy sex every day. Thank you for listening.
My neighbor told me that yesterday he was chased by my dog on a bike. So I asked my dog. He told me, not true, I don't even own a bike. You know the infamous they say, well, they say the truth hurts. Maybe not as much as jumping onto a bicycle with the seat missing. Now that hurts. My buddy Jim tells me that he was approached by his boss, Pete, at work. His boss told him,
you know, I remember it like it was yesterday. We met at 9.
We met at 8.
I was on time.
No, you were late.
Ah, yes, I remember it well. We dined with friends.
We dined alone.
A tenor sang.
A baritone.
Ah, yes, I remember it well. That dazzling April moon.
There was none that night. And the month was June.
That's right. That's right.
It warms my heart to know that you remember still the way you do.
Ah, yes. I remember it well. How often I thought of that Friday
Monday.
night when we had our last rendezvous. And somehow I foolishly wondered if you might, by some chance, be thinking of it too. That carriage ride,
You walked me home.
you lost a glove.
I lost a comb.
Ah, yes, I remember it well. The brilliant sky,
We had some rain
those Russian songs.
from sunny Spain.
Ah, yes, I remember it well. You wore a gown of gold.
I was all in blue.
Am I getting old?
Oh, no, not you. How strong you were, how young and gay, a prince of love in every way.
Ah, yes, I remember
We remember
it
well.
Two senior ladies living in Highland Lakes, Dolly and Ruby, were talking about their grandchildren. Many of you may know Dolly and Ruby. They frequent the card game scene in room 3 over in the clubhouse here. Dolly said, "Each year I send each of my grandchildren a card with a generous check inside. I never hear from them, never receive not even a thank you message." Ruby replied, "I too send my grandchildren a very generous check. I hear from them within a week after they receive it. In fact, they pay me a personal visit." "Wow, how is that?" remarked Dolly. Ruby replied, "A very simple solution. I don't sign the check." Everyone at the Highland Lakes Little Theater is excited to have our next performer, Eileen Sale. Eileen will be playing Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. The harp arrangement is by Sylvia Woods and Angie Bemis. Eileen's past musical performances have included playing the piano, organ, and keyboard at church. She has heard that when you retire, your mind and brain health change to a different instrument. So, Eileen has chosen to pursue the harp and is engaged in taking lessons. Her musical instructor is Stephanie Lacuna in Dayton, Ohio. As an aside, I'd like to thank Eileen's husband, who has been quite helpful in transporting and placing Eileen's harp. This is an instrument requiring TLC. As the curtain opens, everyone, please join me in sharing a warm Highland Lakes welcome to Eileen Sale. My neighbor's grandson Jimmy came home from his piano lesson the other day. He says, "Wow, my piano teacher sure is religious. Whenever I play the piano, she closes her eyes and says, 'Oh, God.'" Okay, see if you can figure this one out. If an electric train is traveling south at 10 miles per hour and the wind is blowing north at 10 miles per hour, which way does the smoke blow? Electric trains don't blow smoke. Very good. We're pleased to present our next act, Nelson and Terry Simpson. Talent personified describes Nelson and Terry. Nelson started playing guitar in 1963. Since then, he's been in a rock band, enjoyed bluegrass jams, and has led music in churches and prisons. He is multi-talented, playing guitar, banjo, mandolin, and piano. He is a talented watercolors painter as well. This guy can paint and he can jam. Terry joined Nelson in music in 1980 when they were married. Terry has sung in many choirs and plays the piano. She has participated in past Little Theater productions, playing the memorable role of Chantel in Death of a Canary. The Little Theater proudly presents Nelson and Terry Simpson. We'll open the curtain and take it away.
Hello, I'm Johnny Petty Cash. I hear the train a-comin', rolling around the bend. Ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rolling on down to San Antonio. June, you gonna come help me, darling?
I would have been here for the first song if I could have found my shoes, which was with all the black outfits. Why the black outfits? I don't know.
This train is bound for glory, this train. This train is bound for glory, this train. Well, this train is bound for glory. Nobody rides it but the righteous and the holy. This train is bound for glory, this train. We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson. We're gonna mess around. I'm going to Jackson. Look out, Jackson Town. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. is a burning thing.
And it makes fiery ring. Found by wild desire, I fell in ring of fire.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down. The flames getting higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. If I were a carpenter and you were a lady, would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby?
If you were a carpenter and I were a lady, I'd marry you anyway. I'll have your baby. Let's put our hands together. If you know this song, sing along.
Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
David Hall has been a member of the Little Theater for 7 years. He directed the dinner murder mystery, Murder at the Melody Club. He has been in 4 plays and has been cast as the ship's captain in the planned upcoming play, Hijinks on the High Seas. David was in a high school play and later performed with a theater group in Frankfurt, Germany. The play was The Devil of Loudun. He has participated in several socials as a singer here at Highland Lakes. He's retired from the U.S. Army. David is enjoying his retirement and is active as an officer in a veterans club, an officer in Highland Lakes High 12 Masonic Club, and volunteers with TSA in dog training for explosives at Tampa International. David has been happily married to Patricia Mimi Hall for 47 years. She is the writer of the script for Murder at the Melody Club and is also the secretary for the Little Theater. Prepare to be entertained. Here he is, David Hall.
Don't you go where fashion sits, putting on a ritz
Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, a cutaway coat, perfect fits, putting on Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Come, let's mix with Rockefeller, walk with sticks or umbrellas, they're mitts, putting on Ritz. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow colors, dark hats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue, you don't know where to go to. Why don't you go where fashion sits, putting on a Ritz? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, cutaways, perfect fits, putting on a Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper. Come, let's mix with Rockefeller, walk with sticks or umbrellas, they're mitts, putting on a Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper. Come, let's mix with Rockefeller, walk with sticks or umbrellas, they're mitts, putting on a Ritz, putting on a Ritz, putting on a Ritz, putting on a Ritz.
You know, I just don't know how a cemetery can raise burial prices and then blame it on the cost of living. Our next performer is John Donlan, who is well known among Highland Lakers. As I mentioned earlier, he's frequented events such as this variety show, karaoke, and music by the pool. A fellow named Hy Zarette, an American Tin Pan Alley lyricist, is credited as having written the next song in around 1955. We're probably most familiar with the version sung by the Righteous Brothers, debuting around 1965. It was later the song that captivated moviegoers, where Sam Wheat, played by Patrick Swayze, and Molly Jensen, played by Demi Moore, were madly in love. Sam was murdered by his corrupt business partner. In the end, that guy got his. That's right, the movie was Ghost. The song, Unchained Melody. Sit back and enjoy John Donlan as he brings down the house with his rendition of Unchained Melody.
All right. Don't forget this is my version. I can't do the Righteous Brothers. There you go. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much Are you still mine? Well, I need your love. Oh, I need your love. Godspeed your love to me. And lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. And lonely riverside, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home, wait for me. And oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time, and time goes by so slowly. And time can do so much for you. Still mine. I need your love. Oh, I need your love. Godspeed, speed your love to me. Oh, to me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. A guy I know was working at the Tropicana orange juice factory. He got canned because they said he couldn't concentrate. Our next performer is Barbara Geiser. She shares with us that she loves the theater. She majored in performing arts at FSU, then switched to speech pathology when she realized a speech pathologist gets paid to talk. She has dedicated her professional career to communication-challenged children in the school system. Barbara says her only talent is sass and silliness. She uses these to entertain family, friends, and those with whom she provides speech-language treatment. Silliness is like a sweet syrup that helps us swallow the bitter pills of life, according to Barbara. So, get your silliness on. The floor belongs to Barbara Geiser. Give it up for Barbara.
Cowboys ain't easy to love and they're harder to hold. They'd rather give you a song than diamonds or gold.
Lone Star belt buckles and old faded Levi's, and each night begins a new day.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Barbara Jean, and I have just a tad of a tale to tell y'all this afternoon about the blonde and the cowboy. Now, my story takes place south of here, over on the west coast of Florida, on the east end of a county called Lee, out on a big, large produce farm on the north end of Buckingham Road. Now, the owners of this large produce farm decided they just might make some money here and capitalize on this new foodie craze, that farm-to-table thing that's going on. How many of you have eaten at one of those? Anybody? I went out there a couple of weeks, got my lunch, and by God, when they brought it to me, it looked like something I just pulled out of my garden that morning and weeded. But you know what? I ate it, and it was good. And they said it was good for me, so it's a win-win. So the blonde decided one day she'd just venture out and see what was so great about this popular restaurant that all of her friends were talking about. So she drove out. When she got there, she walked in a little smaller than she was expecting, being the city girl she was. She looked around and she decided, I'm going to take that booth in the very back, where I'll have the peace and solitude I need to plan my busy day. So, no sooner had she sat down, her order been taken, that the doors of the restaurant opened, and in strode a couple of men who were obviously embracing the rancher lifestyle in their new retirement. Now, lest anybody miss that they were cowboys, they had on a brand new pair of cowboy boots, faded jeans, a plaid shirt, and that requisite cowboy hat tilted ever so much forward. They looked around, and they decided they would sit right in front of the blonde. Yeah, so on their way back, they were still talking a lot of bull about that cattle auction they went to. But as soon as their order was taken, the discussion of the day started. The topic being, what kind of dog, that would be D-A-W-G, are the ranchers going to get? Now, this dog had to not only bond with the rancher, but they had to hunt dove, quail, and they had to herd cattle. Oh, the discussion was long. It was loud. It had many talking points, most of which had not been fact-checked, and the blonde was privy to every sound, syllable, and sentence the cowboys uttered. At the end of her lunch, the topic was still going on. That doggone dog dilemma had not been resolved. So she picked up her tab, and as she walked by the cowboys, she slowed down a bit and she said, "Get along, little doggy." Well, one of the cowboys looked up and he said, "What in the hell did she just say?" So the blonde backed up a little bit and she said again, "Get along, little doggy." This time the other cowboy slaps his leg and he says, "Yee-haw, I'm going to get me a dachshund." So the blonde, she gave him a little nod and a wink, went out, paid her tab, went out, got in her Mustang convertible, and drove away. So thank y'all for your time, and happy trails to you.
Say, have you heard about the new fad restaurant in downtown Palm Harbor? It's named the Moon Restaurant. They say good food, no atmosphere. Okay, here's a good one. Don't get offended. But what's the difference between a fox and a dog? About 2 drinks. Our next performer is John Myers. John is not new to Highland Lakes Productions. Several of his roles have included the Tin Man in Rejoicify, the Aussie Nate in Death of a Canary, and will be just incredible in the upcoming Hijinks on the High Seas. Today, John will sing a Don McLean medley. Please sing along with the chorus for American Pie. The words are on your table.
Thank you. I'm not sure this mic will work at this elevation. I might have to change that. There, is that better? Okay. Yeah, for those, we're going to step back about a little over 50 years to a young troubadour, singer-songwriter from Long Island who wrote some nice pieces, as well as the anthem for the history of music during the 60s. You might be familiar with this. And I love you so. The people ask me how I've lived till now. I tell them I don't know. I guess they'll understand how lonely life has been. But life began again the day you took my hand. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. How about another one about a Dutch artist? Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul, shadows on the hills. Catch the breeze in the winter chills. Paint the daffodils in colors of the snowy linen land. That sounds somewhat familiar? Now here's your chance to, I'm going to put you to work because there's a chorus in here that I'm sure a lot of you recognize. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed pride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died. Ready? We were singing, bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of love? Do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so. Do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage bronco buck in a pink carnation and a pickup truck, but I knew I was out of luck the day the music died. And we were singing, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be a day that I die. This'll be a day that I die. I met a girl who sang the blues, and I asked her for some happy news, but she just smiled and turned away. I went down to the sacred store where I'd heard the music years before, but the man there said the music wouldn't play. And in the streets the children screamed, the lovers cried and the poets dreamed, but not a word was spoken. The church bells all were broken. And the three men I admire most, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they caught the last train for the coast the day the music died. And we were singing, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. Thank you very much. You did a great job singing.
That brings us to our grand finale. Please feel free to sing along. The words are in your program. So, as our cast prepares for the finale, I thought I'd share an interesting something with you. It's like you just never know. I call it whoops. So my buddy says to me, ever get into a really odd situation? When I was at the store the other day, the cashier told me, strip down facing me. By the time I realized she meant the debit card, it was too late. Me, I always take life with a grain of salt, a slice of lemon, and a shot of tequila. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I give you the cast of the Highland Lakes Little Theater Variety Show, and God Bless the USA.
All right, Ernie, go ahead and give it to him. Why don't you all join in while we all come out here and share this song with you, because we love our country, and this is one of the songs that does it. If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Now that was marvelous. As the curtain closes, at this time, as the curtain closes, at this time, the president of the Little Theater, Ernest Leslie, would like to say a few words. Ernie?
Weren't they all fabulous, folks? They were all your friends and neighbors. I mean, wow. Highland Lake's got talent. But I'd like to give a big shout out to Joe here. Joe directed this, coordinated it, brought in a lot of the talent. And Joe, you've just done a wonderful job. I mean, thank you, thank you, thank you. And to Tim Mannigan. Tim, I don't know what we would have done without you. I mean, you're just wonderful. Can't say enough nice things about you. Tim. You know, none of our little theater presentations would be possible without our dedicated people that work behind the scenes. For instance, our stagehands. It's especially in a variety show of this nature, it's very difficult. They have to know what act comes after what to put out there for that act. So I'd like to thank Karen and Tony Marsh and Len Lipton for all they've done for us. Aren't the table decorations and wall decorations outstanding? I want to thank Kathy Douglas and our entire decoration committee for what they've done. Nice work, guys. And thank you for our ticket sales group, Jackie DeBoer, Terry Broderick, and Jan Mustra. You've done a fantastic job. Thank you. And I want to thank Carol Fudge. She has been our promotion director and our ticket and program designer. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. And one last thing, I'd like to recognize our purveyor of ice cream, which you'll soon be enjoying, Ms. Jan Gass. Thank you, Jan. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the show. It's the first time we're back since the pandemic, and we've got some good things to come. I think Joe alluded a few times to a play we're going to put on in November called Hijinks on the High Seas. And then in July, we hope to put on another variety show this coming July. It'll be the height of the ice cream season, so I think you'll all enjoy it. So Joe's going to call out your table numbers now. And when he does, just go on up and get your ice cream. Thank you all for coming.